Hello, you awesome people. So, I'm still trying to get back into this. I have a lot of models to paint, so expect a higher output of videos from me the next couple of weeks. Oh, be careful what you promise. Anywho, today we're going to be painting up some Legion Imperialis Acastus Knight Porphyrion. Anywho, I think that's how you pronounce it. So the thing is, I really love Legion Imperialis. I love these tiny models. They're so cool. One thing, they are so fiddly to put together. There are so many tiny parts, and with the plastic glue, it's really easy to deform things, or things just don't quite fit. So I'm really enjoying painting them. But I'm starting to really hate putting them together. So probably one of the next videos is going to be some Warhammer Old World, because they're really easy to put together. And honestly, putting the model together is my least favorite part of the hobby. Anywho, so I start out with Iron Hand Steel, and I could easily have done this with just a brush, but I had some Citadel airbrush paint, Iron Hand Steel, and since it's basically just getting it in everywhere, I decided to use the airbrush, and it's not as good footage as just using a brush and actually applying the paint, but it's a fast way. You don't need an airbrush at all. There's no effect to this or anything. It's just a way to get the paint on there fast. After that, I go in with black from AK Interactive. That's a good name for paint. As the thumbnail probably told you, I'm going for house, what's it called, Mortia? Something like that, the red and black ones. Simply because I really like that color scheme. So half the panels are getting black and half the panels are getting red. Black from AK Interactive is kind of like a nice flowing Abaddon black. So it's a pretty standard, not overly glossy, but a little glossy black. Like it doesn't really have a shine to it, but it's not as matte as Corvus Black or whatever. Next I do Demon Red from Two Thin Coats. It's one of my favorite reds. It's kind of like Mephiston Red, only with better coverage and a bit more vibrancy to it. So kind of a bastard love child between Evil Sun Scarlet and Mephiston Red. I would say somewhere in between there. And for a model like this that I'm going to dirty up quite a bit with a wash, it's nice to have that extra vibrancy in the colors. I use brass from AK Interactive for all the trims. And this is the most time-consuming part of painting these models. And I had to go back and correct so many things because I kept, missing my target. So I kept putting it on the red and the black, and that was annoying. But since some places could do with a second coat anyway, it's fine. But this brass from AK Interactive has pretty much the perfect warm color that I want. It's not quite gold, but it's warm, and generally it has pretty good coverage. All the AK Interactive paints has good coverage. It is like they are my new go-to paints. Highly recommend them. So Vallejo makes awesome washes, and in this case I decided to use oiled earth because I want these knights to be dirty. Like I want them to be grimy dirty because they're from the Grimdark. You know? I'm not doing Grimdark. That's the effect I'm going for. I want them to look like they've been through some stuff. And yes. So next it's Corvus Black, and that's for all the tubing and wiring. And I generally do this to add some variation. I honestly don't think you need to. It's not something when someone else paint their model and they put it on the table, I don't notice that. Like, I don't see, you spent the time using another color for the wires, so leave them silver if you want. For the rockets, I decided to use Mephiston red. I wanted a slightly darker red for that, just again to break everything up. Then I go back with Iron Hand Steel, but this time on a brush, to touch up all the places that should be silver, but I decided to paint red, and also to add some color back where the wash has darkened it a bit too much for my taste. Finally, I do Storm Vermin fur as a highlight for the black parts. And it's again just a simple edge highlighting, something I'm really bad at. But practice, well, doesn't necessarily make perfect, but it's an easy way to get better. So I try my very best. And for one of the models, I wanted to try to add some ink sprayed from below. So some red ink. I don't really know why. I just kind of I want to see if I could create an effect. So one of the models have that, and one of them don't. And just I don't know what I like best. I think without the red ink is better. But I wanted to try to add some kind of glowy, warm effect, but since the base isn't on fire, it didn't really make that much sense. Anywho, that is the video. That's a quick and dirty paint job of the Legion Imperialis Acastus Knights Porphyrion. Yeah. If you like this kind of content, please do consider subscribing. I don't want to beg for subscribers, but it means a lot to me. So if you have it in you, please do so. And if nothing else, thank you so much for watching. That also means a lot, and have an awesome day. Bye.